Have you ever wondered how to harvest basil properly? Such a simple question, but it opens up a world of flavor. Basil, a culinary superstar, has been gracing our kitchens and tantalizing our taste buds for centuries. Originating from regions in Africa and Asia, this aromatic herb made its way across the globe, becoming a staple in cuisines from Italy to Thailand. Basil is more than its vibrant green leaves and distinct sweet aroma. It's a dynamic ingredient that can transform a simple dish into a culinary masterpiece. Be it a fresh and tangy caprese salad, a hearty lasagna, or a spicy Thai stir-fry, basil breathes life into every meal. But did you know that basil is also renowned for its health benefits? Packed with antioxidants and boasting anti-inflammatory properties, it's a little leaf with a lot to offer. Stay tuned as we delve into the art of harvesting this aromatic herb. Basil is not just a culinary delight, it's a powerhouse of health benefits. This humble herb, so often associated with Italian cuisine, is more than a flavor enhancer. It's packed with properties that can significantly contribute to your well-being. Let's start with its anti-inflammatory capabilities. Basil contains eugenol, a compound that can help to combat inflammation, reducing swelling and pain. This could be particularly beneficial for those suffering from arthritis or other inflammatory conditions. But the benefits of basil don't stop there. It's also a friend to the heart. Basil is rich in magnesium, a mineral that helps relax muscles and blood vessels, potentially improving blood flow and reducing the risk of heart disease. And for those who value mental health, basil might just be your new best friend. The herb is believed to have adaptogenic properties, meaning it can help your body adapt to stress and normalize the harmful effects of it. Plus, its aroma is known to have an uplifting effect on mood. Basil is also packed with antioxidants, which can help protect your body from free radicals, those pesky particles that can lead to cell damage and various diseases. Add to all this the fact that basil can help with digestion, and you have an herb that is as beneficial as it is tasty.
My apologies for the quick interruption. This will only take a few seconds. Hi there, my name is Errol Mueller and I'm the owner and founder of Empire Digest. Now, I've got a question for you. Do you want to make more money? Are you making enough money? Are you sustaining your lifestyle? Are you paying the bills? Are you living the life that you really want to live? Just answer these questions by yourself. Now, I'm part of an elite community of highly successful entrepreneurs, and I would like for you to literally be part of it, be part of us, be part of the elites that are really making it online, that are really breaking through online. And if you want to know more about what it is that we do, then in the description, the first link that you see, click on that link and it will bring you over to this website and continue along. Okay, let's continue with the video that you're on right now.
With such a wealth of health benefits, it's no wonder basil is a staple in kitchens around the globe. Before we can harvest, we need to grow. So how do we cultivate this green gem? It all starts with a seed, a tiny promise of what's to come. Plant your basil seeds in a nutrient-rich soil, about 1/4 of an inch deep. A sunny spot is ideal as basil thrives in warmth and needs at least 6 hours of sunlight each day. Once your seeds are tucked in, water them gently. Keep the soil moist but be careful not to drown them. Basil, like many plants, doesn't appreciate soggy feet. In about 5 to 7 days, you'll see the first sprouts making their way toward the sunlight. As your basil grows, it's important to remember a few key care tips. Basil is a real sun lover, so ensure it gets plenty of light. If you're growing your basil indoors, a sunny windowsill is perfect. When it comes to watering, think of Goldilocks. Not too much, not too little, but just right. Overwatering can lead to root rot, while underwatering can stunt growth. So find that happy medium where the soil is moist, but not waterlogged. And finally, don't forget to feed your basil. A good organic fertilizer every few weeks will keep your basil healthy and ensure a bountiful harvest. Now that our basil plants are thriving, it's time to harvest. The aroma of fresh basil leaves, the satisfaction of knowing you've grown them yourself. There's nothing quite like it. Let's move on to the next step, shall we? Timing is everything when it comes to harvesting basil. The best time to harvest this fragrant herb is when the plant has plenty of leaves, but before it starts to flower. This is typically when the plant is about 6 to 8 weeks old. During this time, the plant is at its peak of flavor. You'll notice that the leaves are large and luscious, and they're bursting with that distinctive basil aroma. This is the perfect time to grab your shears and start harvesting. But why before it starts to flower? Well, once the plant begins to flower, it starts to put its energy into producing seeds rather than leaves. This can lead to a decline in the flavor and quantity of the leaves. So keep a keen eye on your basil plants and harvest them at the right time to enjoy the best flavor. Now that we know when to harvest, let's move on to how to do it. Scene script. Armed with a pair of sharp scissors or pruners, we're ready to start harvesting. Basil harvesting is a simple process that requires keen observation and gentle handling. The first step is to identify the right stems for harvesting. Look for stems that are robust and full of leaves. Avoid harvesting from stems that look weak or are too young. A good indicator is the size of the plant. If the basil plant is about 6 to 8 inches tall, it's ready for harvesting. Once you've identified the right stems, it's time to make your cut. But where exactly should you cut? The best place is just above the second set of leaves from the bottom. Cutting here encourages the plant to branch out and produce more leaves, ensuring a continuous supply of basil. Ensure that you are using a sharp pair of scissors or pruners for this job. Dull blades can damage the plant and hinder its growth. Make a clean, swift cut to reduce stress on the plant. Remember, we're not just harvesting here, we're also grooming the plant for future growth. After cutting, gently hold the harvested stem and carefully remove the leaves. Start from the top and work your way down to the base. Be careful not to damage the leaves while doing this. These leaves are the fruit of your labor, the very essence of your basil plant. Now you might notice some tiny leaves near the base of your cut stem. Leave these on. They are the next generation of basil leaves, ready to grow and replace the ones you've just harvested. By leaving these tiny leaves, you are ensuring the future of your basil plant. Once you've harvested and removed the leaves, collect them in a bowl or basket. Handle them gently to avoid bruising or damaging them. Damaged leaves lose their aroma and flavor, and we certainly don't want that. And there you have it, freshly harvested basil, ready for use or storage. Freshly harvested basil is a joy to use in the kitchen, but it can also be stored for later. Let's start with cooking. You can use fresh basil to add a burst of flavor to a variety of dishes. Toss it into your favorite pasta or pizza, blend it into a pesto, or even use it to garnish a refreshing summer cocktail. The possibilities are truly endless. But remember, basil is best added at the end of the cooking process. Its delicate flavor can easily be lost when it's cooked for too long. Now let's move on to storage. If you want to enjoy fresh basil for a few days after harvest, simply trim the ends of the stems, place them in a glass of water, and cover the leaves with a plastic bag. Store this setup in the fridge, and your basil will stay fresh for about a week. But what if you want to store basil for a longer period? Well, you can dry it or freeze it. To dry basil, tie the stems together and hang them in a warm, dry place. Once the leaves are completely dry, you can crush them and store them in an airtight container. However, keep in mind that dried basil has a more concentrated flavor than fresh, so you'll need to use less in your recipes. Freezing is another great option, especially if you want to preserve the flavor of fresh basil. Simply rinse and pat dry the leaves, then pack them in a freezer-safe bag or container. You can also freeze basil in ice cube trays filled with olive oil or water. This way, you'll have ready-to-use portions of basil for your future culinary adventures. Remember, no matter which storage method you choose, it's important to store basil properly to maintain its vibrant flavor and health benefits. Basil is rich in antioxidants and has anti-inflammatory properties, so it's not just a tasty addition to your meals, but a healthy one too. With these tips, you'll be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor long after the harvest. Basil, with its rich history and bountiful health benefits, is truly a gift from nature. This humble herb, with roots steeped in ancient lore, has found its way into kitchens and hearts across the globe. Today we've journeyed through the life cycle of basil, from seed to harvest, and explored the many uses of this versatile plant. We've learned that the best time to harvest basil is just before it flowers, when its leaves are brimming with flavor. We've discovered that with a pair of sharp scissors and a gentle touch, we can harvest basil in a way that encourages new growth. We've also understood the importance of storing basil correctly to preserve its robust flavor and health benefits. From pesto to teas, basil enriches our dishes and our lives, offering a burst of freshness and a host of health benefits. So the next time you see a basil plant, you'll know exactly what to do. Happy harvesting!